Greetings, lovely Librans. This is your reading. We're doing things a little bit differently this time round, and I've literally had, I think, just over a month where I've not been able to put anything up on the channel due to being in sort of transit, and in fact, I'm sitting here right now in a quarantine MIQ motel. So we're looking at a general overview of October, November and December leading up to the end of the year. The new moon that's just been, and one would, if you are into working with the moon, of course new moons are a great time to put down those seeds to get the intentions quite clear. The Aries full moon on the 20th of October, I think is looking to be a reasonably explosive time. I mean by that, there's a lot of different things going on in a planetary sense. I would recommend not being an astrologer myself, going on something like YouTube and having a wee look. So we've got a lot of energy at that time to work with, to utilise in the most beneficial way that we can. So anyway, let's get into it. No mucking around, Libra. Let's pull a card, and we're keeping it quite simple. One card for each month and then going through and clarifying for you. So let's see. I've got quite a nice vantage point up here. I'm looking out on some nice palms. Okay, let's see. For lovely Librans, looking at October. Thank you. Wow, we get the Two of Cups, which it's a wonderful card of mutuality. Looking at November. Now we get two cards for November and heading up towards the end of the year. We have, okay, so Libra, bear with me. The Two of Cups, October energies for you. The Two of Cups, what's it all about? It's about choices primarily. It is a choice. We see this reciprocity in this card, if you can see it. Sorry about the light. It's a beautiful card in the Thoth deck, and it probably sums up the ultimate in balance and harmony, which I think balance, equilibrium is something to keep in mind as we near or venture through October, as we near this full moon time. As I said before, we will go through and clarify and try and connect the dots here. You know, it would seem that a choice has been made. There's a choice that's been made. There's an easy flow between you and others at this time, and a kind of equal flow, which doesn't always happen. We head into November with two cards. In November, we have the amazing Ace of Cups. So if you feel like you're in a good position currently, we've got this up there in the ethers waiting to come down, waiting for you to give it form. Now, the other card here in November is the Five of Discs. Isn't that wonderful? It's like a clock mechanism or something, isn't it? In the old-fashioned sense. A piece of mechanics. Mechanical movement. Look, we have the Five of Discs, which I think we know the Five of Discs. It can be a mindset, it can be a habit. It is largely the card of being left out in the cold, choosing not to be involved, choosing not to receive, choosing lack. So it's quite a mind thing, but of course the power of that, it plays out in our physical world. Being a disc, the 5, it plays out in our physical world. So it couldn't be really clearer than daylight here, that there is something pretty expansive in a kind of emotional sense, whether that's about your own well-being, happiness, the well-being and happiness of others around you. This Ace is a gift that you need to keep your eyes open and your ears open to, and don't fall on old patterns if that's something that you know within yourself that you can do, these patterns of lack. You know, it's like always hiding behind a curtain and then wondering why you never receive anything. You know, I just see it as a theatre and a stage, and always hiding behind the curtain. Why not be out in the spotlight? Is just what I'm getting through November for you, Libra. And then as we head towards December, we have the gorgeous Fool, unencumbered, free. A new beginning, like a completely new roll of the dice, actually. New things coming your way, new opportunity, new directives for you. But let's just go through Libra and clarify. What's this 2? What's this 2 of Cups? Ooh, 2 of Cups for Libra, please. We've been reasonably, it's interesting, we've been, well, excuse me, whatever's going on here, Libra, throughout October, we've been reasonably focused, actually. And I would say the primary thread in the 2 of Cups here for you this month is that you are incredibly balanced. And because of that, you're incredibly focused. There's no need to be chasing after this or chasing after that. You've got everything that you need on hand. I say that there is a review going on. There is a at the same time with the 8 of Discs that you're working away, you're chipping away. You've got some particular goals you're working at to the best degree that you can at this time. But you are reviewing, so I would say that you're kind of projecting forward to this point in December where you do get to take a leap of faith. You get to step into something new. The 7 of Discs, and we have the 8 as well. The 7 of Discs is, I always, in this case, I think, you know, starting out as you mean to go on. It is a farmer looking back on the crop and seeing what have my efforts brought me? And in fact, what do I want them to bring me? Because there is possibly a change in perspective here. There's a change in your perspective about what you want to choose, what you think you need now. And possibly you are making different choices than what you would have in the past, Libra. So it's quite interesting. So let's look at the Ace here. So you're doing a review, but you're keeping focused throughout October at the same time. And we'd see here that, you know, that quite possibly, there's too many that just came out, because I was thinking of something else. Possibly, there is something in the, for whoever out there that's watching, and remember these are really general readings, there's something that you are going after, that you are working towards. It's quite clear in this. What you want to do is to make the best possible decision. There may be a level of anxiety about this. Let's have a look. Ace of Cups, Five of Discs, please, for Librans. For Librans, please. Just one card to clarify would be handy. Far too many again. Thank you. Just one or two. Just one or two, please. All right. Thank you. We've got two. Wow. Yeah, throughout November, I would say that you're getting a lot of information. You're getting a lot of information. I think there's a lot of activations happening over the next 6 months. I don't know. We get the High Priestess for one thing here, and the Four of Swords, card of rest, respite. We're looking at the Ace of Cups and the Five of Discs. I think during November you're getting quite a lot of downloads and periods of rest. Now this is really necessary. Whatever your situation is, there is, even though, you know, we see the Fool taking off in December, there are other decisions that have been made here. The High Priestess represents a very psychic, intuitive element, intuitive voice. Now, I guess it takes practice to understand what the difference between that is and just mind chatter, you know, habit, mind chatter. Often that intuitive voice will, you know, we might not like it. It might be saying to us in our gut, or in our, you know, it might be suggesting to us something that makes us feel uncomfortable. This is probably the best. It is one aspect of discernment, you know, to know mind or that hit, you know, that intuitive hit. I'm trying to, verbalize here. It is probably the one thing that will that you can be quite sure about, that often intuitive hits are uncomfortable. There could be elements of fear. There could be, it just, you know, it's like, well, I don't know if I necessarily want to go with that. But often, you know, there's, the higher the risk, the better the stakes. Do you know what I mean? That's just what I'm getting from these. So really throughout November, you know, a great time to take advantage of a resting period. Because it looks like you've been working, you know, you've been working hard up until this point. And when we speak of intuitive hits and decision making, this is really clear cut to me that you're not going to see this. You're not going to be able to give it form unless you understand the aspect of the Five of Discs, of which we all have been in the Five of Discs and sometimes struggle to get out of it. This, lack sort of mentality. So that's interesting, Libra. Now let's have a look at the Fool. Oh, excuse me. Oopsie. What have we got? We've got far too many. Far too many yet again. The Fool for Libra, please. We see there's big decisions going on here, but there is a time of respite in November. And enjoy that. See what messages come through. See how, ask for guidance, I guess. You only but get it in your sleep often. Or going and digging the garden or peeling potatoes, It's often those basic things where we somehow gain insight, and yes, there will be great success. And whatever this happens to be, whatever is going on for any Libran out there, into December, we're really starting a new journey. The thing is, though, is that we're quite, we don't have unrealistic expectations. Libra, we don't, do we? And I speak of we, that's just the way I speak when I do these readings. We've got the Nine of Discs here, and we have the Victory card, because it is a victory. It's the Six of Wands. It's to be seen, to be of service. I think the culmination of I think there's a culmination point at the end of the year, which it's been sort of years in the making. You could say it's been years in the making, but we really reap the benefit of others seeing our value because of service to others, Libra. Because of being of great service to others. Look, the Nine of Discs is a really independent card, like coinage-wise. Financially independent. And yet it's not weighing us down, hence the Fool. And there's some victory here that you have that you're experiencing, that you've managed to achieve, which has been financially independent, yet not sort of weighed down by that. Matters of finance can, as much as giving you many options, can really bind your sense of adventure, or it can what am I trying to say? Look, I mean, I've been in isolation. I'm just talking to myself most of the time, or been occasionally on the phone. You know what I'm trying to say. The bird, being financially fluid, having options in that coin way, can actually diminish your sense of how far you can go with that, because sometimes we just don't want to take risks. We want to keep that, all of that, not moving, and piling up in our bank account if we're lucky enough to be able to do that. It can stunt people's ability to extend themselves and take risks, basically, in life. an experience, because what is life? It's a series of experiences, and how we process that, and how adventurous or not we happen to be, or how content we are, whatever. It's different for different people. Prior to pulling these cards, so I hope you got something out of that, Libra. These won't always resonate, obviously, but if it did, that's fantastic. So we see a sort of the reciprocal mentality has been worked away on for a long time. There's generosity in that. There's hard work in that. And now you're reviewing, over October, you're reviewing how you want to move forward, because you are moving forward with a big, deep breath, not wanting to repeat what could be potentially a habitual pattern of sort of choosing lack over not lack, non-lack over bounty. There is an ace that will present itself to you. So get that guidance happening here with the Four of Swords. You're in the perfect position to receive, and ask that High Priestess of yours to channel a bit of information down there while you're in a resting state. It gives you greater opportunity to embrace this cup fully, right? And then, probably because of that, you set off on a new journey, totally not bound, but almost as if you're carrying your beautiful garden, your bounty with you. And the card of victory. Success. Success. I pulled a few cards before we started this reading, Libra, just as a general addition. Star and Harlequins, Kim Cran's Animal Spirit cards, and the Journey Map deck, my own deck. So let's have a look first at Kim Cran's. Wow, and they're face down, so I haven't seen them. We get this. I love that. I love that colour. We get the dragonfly. God, that's gorgeous, isn't it? What springs to mind, and I have actually got the book to this, it's somewhere else in the country. What springs to mind when I first look at the dragonfly, now we're all familiar with dragonflies, is that this gorgeous, delicate, like super delicate creature seems to be supplanted on this very, not stuck on it, but just hovering above it, this great, gorgeous blue triangle. Triangles to me are incredibly stable structure. And I do get that feeling, the delicacy of the dragonfly being able to dart, boom, 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 left, right, centre. It's like you're ready to, you're ready to, Libra. You've got the ability at the moment to kind of change your trajectory at any point. I think that is the key to having many options, of not being bound here by anything. You're certainly not bound mentally throughout the next few months, which is a wonderful thing. So we have the dragonfly. We've got two cards in the journey map that came out. We have adaptation, which is about being open to creating new connectors in the brain. I do see that in relation to the Four of Swords and the High Priestess. This is the landing pad, and this is the source of our information in the High Priestess. This is our landing pad, rest, respite, being open. So we see this in adaptation here, where we are open to new perspectives, new information. We're creating new connections in our brain with this card. And it only makes us more vital. So life force Chi is at its utmost. It's giving us a level of clear sight, I would say, a level of very clear intuition. We see this sort of sonar around the head, very clear sight, but at the same time ready to be able to shift, move at great, tangents, wherever you see, you feel your opportunities lie. So you're flexible, you're being flexible. With that, we get contemplate and cut back, preparation. There is a preparation for a journey, for a move, for a new project. Could be a major life change here towards the end of the year for some Libras out there. And with the Harlequin and stars, we have the Ace of Will, focus, intention, abundance, passion, fire. It's like the Ace of Wands. And with that, alchemy, it's kind of a bit phoenix-like. Alchemy, the transformation is already underway. Good work, as I said, as we see, you've been working away at this for quite a long time. So I hope, thank you very much for joining me, Libra. Thank you. And do check out your ascendant. Well, the Astros should be up by the end of this week. Check out your ascendant, your moon, if you know, Jupiter and Venus. And cross watches and all of that. And do check out those other signs. The full moon in Aries on the 20th of October. The reading is up on the channel as well, the collective reading. So we are living in very unusual and interesting and very fast-moving times. The information's moving faster than probably the movement of people, isn't it? So on that note, ka kite, enjoy your week and see you again. Bye, Libra.